Would be a good day to change. Alright, we're going to do the rear wheel seal on this. So I noticed a bunch of grease and everything building up on my caliper. And it was actually, looked like, I thought the caliper was leaking and I was losing brake fluid, but then realized it was actually the axle grease working its way out of the wheel seal. And what we'll need to do is, I jacked mine up and got it supported on one side with the jack stand so it's off the ground. And then I got a 22 millimeter right here for taking my wheel lugs off. And then this right here, first thing we're going to do after that is take all these 19 millimeter bolts off of the center hub here. So that is what we will do. So 22, 19, and then this whole axle slides out. And you don't even have to take, if you've done this before, sometimes you got to take the C-clip out to slide the axle out. On the floating hubs, that's unnecessary, which makes it a lot easier for us. So. As a safety precaution, always slide a tire into the frame to make sure everything, if it does fall down, falls on that tire. But we got a jack stand and it's only on one jack stand and it's still, oh, this is really greasy. And I'm just really happy it's not my caliper that's bad. Alright, I was instructed upon my research to get a 6-lug 27046 4-wheel drive bearing lock nut socket 6-lug. Yep. And you don't want to use your impact because you don't want to break the tool, so they want you to use a breaker bar. Before you take that off, there is a locking clip. Looks like we'll be able to get it off with a screwdriver. Flathead. So, allow me. So I chose to go with the weird little picky tool and this because I can't find my flathead screwdriver. And I stopped looking. And it's already off. Ding! So, yeah. Now, that's how bright it is outside. It's bright. Oh, here is a tiny flathead screwdriver that isn't, it's more like a tooth. Not flat, it isn't a flathead, it's a tooth head. It is not flat. I just want you guys to get a feel for the environment. Look at the hit that my girlfriend took in the side of her car. Broke this bar right here. Quite extensive. So yeah, she broke the shit out of that. Yeah, this is a huge hole. It's actually took her out of the next race, which sucks, but it was a pretty big hit. She got hit by one of the other drivers going really fast, which it is a figure 8 derby, so that's all to be expected, but it's always the luck of the draw. Good thing I found this. There is a small piece of metal that keeps the next piece, another locking piece that held in by that ring. So it's small, it's rectangular, and you don't want to lose it, I guarantee you. Well, it's an 18 to take the back bolts off the caliper. apparently, I just need to pry on it. Fucking A! My kneecap almost got landed on by a really heavy object. That's how filthy everything is. There's no brake pad even on there. Oh, goodness. New ones of these, for sure. Winging it. It's the first time I've ever done this. I don't have the cool little slide hammer thing the guy online had. Well, I do, but I don't have the cool slide hammer attachment. So, looks like it's working pretty good. I don't know if I have more than one point of entrance though. So we're gonna have to see if we can get it all from one side. Brakes don't like that. Wow, look at that. Thanks, Jim. Your tip didn't help here. There you go. This shit is fucking filthy. So what you want to do is we're going to, I got a bristle pad and made sure that where the seal's going to sit was at least scuffed up and, because mine's a little rusty right on the other edge of that seal. So I'm trying to knock that rust off and not scratch the nice flat surface. Basically just clean up this area. And then you want to put your gear oil. We're going to get some gear oil. And after we press the seal in, we're going to put some gear oil on this shaft, just not where the seal sets. Everywhere on this part, just not right up here on this ledge. So, I got to press this in, and then we can do that and pretty much tighten her down and get her going. So, just take a little bit of gear oil. I'll just pour some on it. I'll rub it around the sides of it. Get it nice and coated. So coat it in gear oil. And I don't see why the guy online said don't get any on this lip, because you figure it'd help it slide on, but we'll just not. So that's greased up. I'll help it slide in here. And you can fuck this up, so you got to do it extremely square, which if you had a circle the same exact size as it, the diameter of the ring, you could do it that way, but I don't think we do. So I'm going to get a 2x4 like the guy online did. Alright, so I'm pressing the seal back into the back of this, and I noticed that the axle fits perfectly all around it, and since we want to push it in evenly, this seems like a perfectly acceptable, perfectly amazingly awesome way to do it, because everyone that changes it is going to have your axle. That means you have the tool to push your new seal back in. I got some dirt on my axle here. Oops. But yeah, make sure your seal's greased up, and then set it in there flat, nice and even. Set this right there, and then use a rubber mallet because you don't want to fuck up your axle. And then hopefully this goes in perfectly. See if it's even going in at all. Ah! Rust off the end of that. Oh, it's going in. Looks to be going a little. Seems to be going crooked. The other guy online used that looks good. Looks nice and even all the way around. Alright, that's pretty much this to that. Now that it's pressed in evenly, wipe all this dirt off of it. And then we'll slide it back on that. That one in. Yeah, that's all the way in. But yeah, use that to spread the surface around. So that got it started. This got it finished. But everything has to be not too direct and try and even it out on the whole surface there. So then we gotta lube this motherfucker up a little bit. Pour a little bit of this shit on there. Should be wearing the gloves for this, but you know, sometimes you just gotta get it done. Oh yeah. And then now we just slide this motherfucker back on. I do want to wipe some of this shit off.
So what were you replacing?
The seal.
The seal.
Yeah, except I guess it must let the fluid out of, the fluid must come out the end of this, and then that's why we don't need to re-grease the bearings, because the fluid comes out the end of this, gets all in here, greases the bearings and everything, and then this is that back seal that seals right up on this. The tip online was don't get any grease on top here, on the where the seal sits.
Okay.
That was what they said to do online. Don't get any grease up there, but get grease all on this shaft right here. Just not here. I guess that will keep the seal from letting any oil out, because I guess if you start with a little bit of oil on it, maybe it gives it a passageway. But now we can push this back on, because that was the order. The seal's right there. Oh, I need my gloves back on. This shit's filthy. Keep the morale high. Oh, yeah.
How do you know when it's at 50?
It'll click. It'll stop and it'll click when it's at 52. See?
Mm-hmm.
And then now it said I'm just supposed to go back it off. And that's probably why it was loose.
So just one little tweak?
Yeah, you see these little squares?
Yeah.
Right on the piece. This little... It's perfect actually that you're here, because then you ask the questions that people online are asking. Then this little square will set right. Show them. See that little tooth?
Mm-hmm.
So we tighten it to 52, then we back it off that little bit, and then put this little, slide this little guy in there. So let me do that.
Way different than a front-wheel drive.
This clip just goes on over whichever, because you see how they're just threads?
Yeah.
This just fits over whatever thread. And then this little tooth fits in there. Are you recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it almost looks like we should just put this bitch on and run it. It's like, looks like it's perfect.
Looks good.
But if it leaks from the outside, I can just take this whole thing back off.
Or you can just put them on both. Put them both on.
This and the RTV?
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you rather be safe than sorry?
Oh, wouldn't I?
Oh, wouldn't you?
Oh, wouldn't I? Guess I should wipe the axle. Okay. I don't have any silicone, but they use silicone and they feel outside the other thing. It's pretty brand new, so we're gonna do that. And if it leaks, I can just take this back off and RTV sealer or get a new seal, but this one looks like it's good. Inspecting the bolts, making sure there's no bucket that looks like these for us. Probably just should be. Probably use fantasy when it's rusty now. I don't think that.
Oh.
Red Locker orange for when you don't know if you want blue or red. So, you see all my bolts are rusty right here? I actually have leftover bits of, on this one you can tell, has leftover bits of Loctite. So I'm just gonna put some anti-seize on the rusty part just to keep it from rusting in on this half, and then I'll dab a little thread locker on that half. And I think that'll be the best of both worlds. Really just a dab of this shit. now I put all the center ones in with the Loctite and a little bit of anti-seize on the back side to help seal the rust out, or help seal it, keep the bolt from getting rusty, give it a nice little bit of sealant from the moisture that's going to come in. And the Loctite should lock the end of the bolt in, and then the anti-seize should help the back of the bolt keep from seizing up. And then these are my bolts that hold the calipers on. I'm just going to anti-seize those too, because don't want these getting stuck in. And because they don't spin, I don't really need Loctite. I don't need the thread locker on these. I put thread locker on like all the drivetrain bolts, but some bolts you want to come back out because you service your brakes a bit. There we go. So you can't see any of this, but just putting that last bolt back, and the two bolts that help your caliper come off, or that let your caliper come off, are the 18s. So obviously you've already passed that part of the video. So put this back on, then just put your tire back on. We're all good to go. And right now it's getting dark at my house, and the mosquitoes are all starting to attack me, so I gotta get this done. And there you have it. Wheel seal on a 2000s GMC Silverado 2500 floating hub. Yep, 8 luck. Whoop! Peace out.